Hello, fellow heroes. We are less than a week away from the launch of the DPH Hero Collective Mastermind community. I am so excited to be able to interact with you, and I hope to see a few more of you there. Go to dentalpracticeheroes.com for more information. Okay, so you decided that you need to spend more time working on your business. But how do you know exactly what to work on? Today, I'm going to teach you the easiest way to create a compass that will always steer you in the right direction. You are listening to the Dental Practice Heroes podcast, where we create dental practices that are ran and driven by the team, affording us the freedom to practice less, stress less, and make more money. Hi, I'm Paul Etchison, author of 2 books on dental practice management, dental coach, and owner of a $6 million group practice in the south suburbs of Chicago. I want to teach you how to create a team-driven practice and achieve early financial freedom so you can have more time to do whatever it is that you love. Let's get started. Okay, so I want to take you back to your high school history class. Are you ready? Here we go. Remember all those explorers, Marco Polo, Ferdinand Magellan, Christopher Columbus? They all got on a boat and they all sailed somewhere far, right? They had storms, they had bad, treacherous waters, limited supplies, scarce resources, and they had primitive equipment. I mean, primitive to nowadays, but back then maybe it was pretty cool. But no matter what challenge they had, they always had their compass, right? And they used it to direct them where to go. And that's exactly how you need to think about your dental practice and the direction that you need to take it in. You need a compass. And I feel like my method of practice management and my beliefs believe that compass needs to be your schedule with some very special requirements, okay? So here's the requirements. You need to utilize block scheduling to ensure the goals of the office are met, and meaning that 1, you have enough blocks held for new patients so that each doctor can see 35 to 40 new patients each month. So if you just fill those blocks that you're holding, you will see enough new patients. 2, you have enough blocks for certain levels of production, high production and low production, so that you hit your daily goal every single day. So if you have enough blocks with the right dollar amounts on them and you just fill the blocks, you will hit your production goal. And 3, you have the right number of SRP blocks relative to your new patient numbers so that your hygienists then hit their production numbers. So if you just fill the blocks with the right things, your hygienists hit the numbers. So essentially, what I'm saying is that once your blockout schedule is created, your only goal, the only thing you need to focus on, your compass, is to just fill the blocks. And those blocks will tell you everything you need to do, and it will guide you. So let me give you some examples. Let's talk about on the doctor side, okay? So you put in the right number of blocks with the right dollar amounts on them, and you fill them. Now, the way we do this in my practice, we have major blocks, which are this is for crowns, this is for root canals. And we have minor blocks, and we have 2 different minor blocks. We have a $250 minor block, and then we have a greater than $500 minor block. I don't want to overcomplicate this because that's not the point of this. But let's say on the doctor side, you put in the right number of blocks each day, and it has a certain dollar amount on it, and you fill them, but then you can't keep up with your schedule. You're getting behind. So what do? Well, you've got to get faster. You've got to get more efficient. You've got to utilize your team better. You need to produce faster. So if you can't keep up with the blocks for that day, you need to either get faster or lower your goal, right? And hopefully you just figure out a way to get faster. Now, let's say that you don't fill the blocks. I mean, you set them up in the day so that if you fill them, you hit your goal, but you just can't fill the blocks with patients. Well, then you need to look at, am I diagnosing enough? Is there something I need to work on with my case presentation? Is there something with treatment acceptance we could change? Can we train our team on how to be better at presenting treatment or finance people? Can we become more persuasive? Can we explain it better? Can we handle objections? Can we make our patients see a little bit more urgency in the treatment? So what can we do to get patients into those blocks? Now let's switch over. Let's talk about the hygiene side. So you got all these new patient blocks, but maybe you just can't fill them. You got them blocked out. You're taking time in the schedule and you're holding it for new patients, but you don't fill them. Well, then maybe you need to touch up your online image. Maybe you need to do more marketing. Maybe you need to convert on that marketing better, meaning you work on your phone skills. Maybe you ask your existing patients to make sure that they schedule the rest of their family. What can we do to fill those blocks? So let's say another situation. Let's say you fill all your new patient blocks, and now your next available new patient block isn't for like a month. So somebody calls your office and they're like, hey, I want to get in as a new patient. And you're like, we can't see you for a month because all of your new patient blocks are filled. Well, then you need some more new patient blocks. And what do you do if you don't have enough hygienists to see that many patient blocks? Well, then you need another hygienist. So you see how this all follows off from the schedule and almost tells you what to do. So I think that a doctor can check 3 hygiene columns. If there's a good system and there's co-diagnosis and we're working together, the doctor should have no problem checking 3 hygiene columns. But after that, you're going to need an associate because you're going to need a 4th hygienist, and you can't check 4 hygiene columns. So this is telling you what's the next step. The next step is expanding your capacity by adding more providers. Now, another situation, what if you fill the blocks, but people don't show up or they cancel the day of? Well, then you need to start working on everything cancellations and no-shows, working on your phone skills, maybe following up and calling the patient a few days before just to check in on them. Like all these things. See, everything matters, but it all goes back to, are we filling the blocks? Okay, let me give you a few more examples here. Now, let's talk about SRP blocks. We've got these SRP blocks. We've got the correct number relative to our new patient blocks, but we can't fill them. Well, why can't we fill these SRP blocks if we're seeing enough new patients? Maybe we need to work on our case presentation. Maybe we need to work on our diagnosis. Maybe we got to work on creating more urgency for patients. So our main issue is we've got the right schedule, the template's there. We need to figure out how we can make it work. All we've got to do is fill the blocks. Now, what about this? Let's say that you are making sure that your reappoint is like plus 90%. So every time a hygiene patient comes in, you make sure that before they leave, you schedule them 6 months out, right? But now you're looking 6 months ahead and you don't see anywhere to schedule them because you're holding all this space for new patients. And you're like, I just want to put them on the new patient block and block over that and book the wrong thing. No, you can't. You've got to book them out 6 months and a day, then 6 months and 2 days, 6 months and a week, 6 months and 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 7 months. And when you start booking your recall patients out that far, you can only do that for so long until you say, hey, I need to expand capacity and add another hygienist. And like I said earlier, you can only check 3. Some people can only check 2. But eventually, you need another provider, another associate to check those hygiene columns. So this is my point. If you can build your block schedule exactly the way that makes sense for your office and with your production goals in mind and where you are in your practice, at your practice life cycle, where it is, in the most simplest terms, you've just got to focus on filling the blocks. And based on what happens in that schedule, you will know where you need to put your focus and where you need to focus your efforts to make sure that you can fill them. And that's where all that detailed practice management stuff comes in. So I'm oversimplifying it, but I'm just saying everything practice management, if you build the right schedule, the right template, everything you need to do management-wise will be based off of how well you can or cannot fill those blocks. So if you're looking for some more information on this type of scheduling, I do have a masterclass on this on my website, dentalpracticeheroes.com. You can also check out all the free videos and free lessons that we have there as well. So just get out there, create your block schedule, and then do whatever it takes to fill the blocks. It's that easy. Thank you all for listening, and we will talk to you next time. Hey listeners, don't miss out on our exclusive content available on our website. You can download 11 insightful videos, a comprehensive webinar on building a team-driven practice, essential dental membership documents, and the must-have Big Book of Dental Analogies. Head over to dentalpracticeheroes.com now and start elevating your practice today.